In this video, I'll be just showing an example of a project I made pretty quickly on the spot. Just did some stuff in 3D and exported and brought it into Cinema or into Adobe Aero. I did use Cinema 4D to do the 3D parts of it. Wanted to just make this project. I've been seeing a lot of dog poop in the neighborhood and just kind of got inspired to make something around that so I could interact with some of the mess that I've seen. So yeah, this is what it looks like in Adobe Aero, the desktop app, but I'll bring this out into the real world with the Adobe Aero mobile app. All right, so in Cinema 4D, I'm going to make sort of like a poop emoji in 3D. Going to think about how I might do this. I think I can do it with a sweep spline. So let me first look at some of the splines in here. I think, oops, they are located in here. Still getting used to R25 interface, and I'm going to use a helix. Let me change the orientation so that it's looking up, and the start radius can be large and the end radius can be smaller. I think I need more angles, but not that many. Whoops. It's kind of interesting, but maybe 1080, or maybe just a little bit more. I think it's really sensitive. I don't know why it's super sensitive. I don't know, maybe 2000. I think that might work. Let's see. And then we're going to sweep this with a circle. And we'll make it pretty small, but we're going to change some of the settings later. I'm going to look for the sweep. Again, I'm still looking for it. We're getting used to the interface, but I'll look up sweep I'll do Shift C to look up sweep, and I'll bring these in. So you want the circle, the thing that gets wrapped around the helix, to go above it. So you make these a child of those. And what I will do, it's starting to look like a poop. I will go into the sweep objects, or sweep, object tab, and I want to scale it a little bit so that as it gets towards the top, it might kind of come to a nice little taper. Now this is maybe too much, or maybe I can adjust it using this. Maybe I'll get away with it. Okay, so let me just see what that's looking like. Again, I'm going to adjust this. I think the the start radius is a little bit big. Maybe you can play with the height bias a little bit. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe adjust the height. We could make it a short one or a tall one. I think there's still some issues with getting the edges of this to feel good. Whoa. Again, I don't want to mess around with it too much. Super sensitive. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep tweaking this. I also want this edge or this end to be tapered, so I'm gonna go back into my object and I can add a taper here. You can, I think if you hit, is it Option, or I think it's Control or Alt or Command, you can add a new point so that you can kind of make a tapered look from there. And again, you can get it pretty good. You can play around with this if you want a little more taper. I think I need to taper that out even more. I'm being honest. Okay. So I think I just need to keep tweaking this a little bit. Playing with, I think height and radial bias will give me something a little bit more to play with. There we go. I think that my end radius should be a little bit smaller. Yeah. Really come to a fine point. So I might need to add more rotations to just kind of clean it up. Okay, so there's my little dude. Keep it somewhat simple. All right, and from here I might just don't want this to sit on top of this. So again, I want to just play with this a little bit. I think I just pull this, pull that. There we go. And maybe just bring that radius down even more. Again, it's being super sensitive for some reason. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That looks the part. Again, I want to maybe taper that a little bit more. Go up to my sweep. I think I just need to pull this down to the, here we go, same point as that. Maybe make a little bit. There we go. We can pull these. Okay, I think that's good. Don't want to spend too much time doing that. So let's find the front of this piece, and maybe now we want to put some character on this. Put a face here. Okay, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to use some primitives. I think that I can make a face out of this. I think I can do it with a capsule or two capsules for the eyes. I'm going to need to move these out a little bit. So scale these down. And I just want to look at these, maybe add some more segments so it's a little bit smoother. Here I might want to look at, I'm just looking at this right now, and there's a lot of geometry actually. I might want to, I might want to bring that down a little bit just so it works in Aero. Again, trying to reduce the number of polys slightly, and looks like I'm up here. And for me, it's okay if these eyes are like floating a little bit. I think that will work. I'm going to do control click and drag, so I have one on the other side going this way. I think that works. So I've got my two little eyes. I might want to just shift click to shift click to get them both, move them up a little bit. Okay, I probably could have put a symmetry object there, but I think that's all right. We can play around with this, to get the right eye quality. And let's see, what else could I do for a face? Whoops, I think I could pull this out, slice it, and then just scale it. I hope you can see. Yeah, what I did is I sliced it. I want to maybe think about keeping this in roughly the same area. Maybe all these things need to move up a tiny bit. I think this is too big, so let's bring down the ring radius and the pipe radius. So we could do just something like that. Okay, so we have a little happy face guy, and if we want those to align, we can look at that. Again, I kind of changed the polys here. I brought it down. I think here maybe did I do it here? Oh, I think trying to find that right level of detail, but also I don't want too many polygons. There we go. I think that looks okay. So yeah, I think that's working. You might want to try some things like maybe you scale this down. What does that look like? Sometimes like sometimes it's fun to just play with that. Maybe the height of these eyes, you could even get them almost circular. Bring them close, bring them high up. I think there's a different kind of character you could build with that. Maybe I'll bring these eyes a little bit backwards, even though I'm trying to think if that makes sense or not with this torus. Okay, so from here, let's just bring in some materials. So let's go up to Material Manager and just start building some. So I got one for the poop, for lack of a better word. Whoops, let's get a nice brown going. Let's bring that in here. Okay, and maybe, yeah, so this brown is maybe pretty dark, so I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I want to make the eyes and mouth really bright or really dark. So I'm just going to see maybe what that looks like. This is with kind of a light version, or if we wanted to look at what does it look like if we get it dark. I don't know. Maybe we make the eyes dark, and we could make the mouth pinkish. Just trying things out. It looks pretty strange, but I feel like it's getting kind of interesting. Maybe we want to add a lot of reflectance on this. Again, I'm not always sure if this translates to Adobe Aero, but I think sometimes you do get more reflections if you add that in there. So I like to try it at least. So reflectance. And if you have a better way of getting reflection into Aero, I'd love to hear it. So yeah, just definitely let me know. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I'm wondering again, it's like, yeah, do we make this a little lighter so that the black and the white stands out? And maybe we make the pink a little bit darker or saturated so that stands out, a little bit of both. Again, sometimes when you bring this into Adobe Aero, it's a bit of a surprise. Okay, so this is looking fine to me. I want to keep moving, so I'll export this out as an FBX into a folder, and we'll bring this into Adobe Aero. All right, so I'm going to do the second part of this project, which is type. I'm in Adobe Illustrator right now, and yeah, I'm also just kind of going at this really quickly. So cleaning up after, the thing I want to say is clean up after your pet, right? Very important, living in a modern society. So clean up after, I'm just making like some text blocks. I have an idea in my head. I want to do like some type on a path or warped type. Let's see. I should probably make sure, whoops, that these are centered. Obviously, I probably want to change the typeface here. Instead of Myriad Pro, let's look for something that looks a little bit better. All right, so I just did a quick exploration and I kind of landed on these two typefaces. I wanted maybe some sort of separation between the two. So I had this like script and I have this other, I think it's Agency FB Black. Yeah, so this, I thought this might be just an interesting pairing to work with. From here, again, I said I wanted to maybe put this on a path, or I could warp it. I guess I could do that. Let's see if that will do enough for me. So I'm going to go to warp and maybe arc. And actually, they think that's fine. That looks decent. So let me pull that up. So clean up after your pet. And I'll try to center these and maybe bring these together. I wonder if maybe I'll make this larger. Let's see what that looks like. If I do that, I might need to change the effect a little bit more. So I had this warp effect, and maybe I just need to bend it a little bit, even a little bit more. And I don't know, maybe I'll put a little star here or something. I'm just kind of thinking this up as I go. Let's bring that all together. Okay, so before I bring this into Cinema 4D to make this 3D, I want to outline everything. Oh, actually, I think I need to go to Object Expand Appearance. There we go. So that's outlined. This type, whoops, this is fine as a star, but this type needs to be outlined. So make sure we outline that. You could always do that from like I think I just did the keyboard shortcut, but let's see, is there anything else I want to do? I think that's okay. And I'm just gonna maybe center it in the screen, save this out, and then bring it into Cinema 4D. Okay, so here I am in Cinema 4D. I'm gonna grab that file that I just saved in Adobe Illustrator. Here it is, it's called Clean Up. We'll import this in, And yeah, it came in as with the new vector import feature, it kind of came in as type. But I'm going to want to alter these in different, alter these individually. So I want to go click on this object, and then I will hit hierarchy, and that will let me kind of pull all the parts out. And looks like, so this one looks like it's a star. I think that a lot of times these come in order. Let's see if they did. So oops. I think for the most part these came in order. So that's a C. Oops, that's the last one. So all the way up to, rather than label those all, I might just select these. You know, I know these. Yeah, there we go. Your pet, and then everything from R all the way here to, whoops. So maybe I'll just label that. Okay, so or you could even group these, but I might play with these separately. So there's that black fill or black color on it, but you might want to do more than that. Let's first think about maybe the global things that we might want to do. I think I would want to extrude this a little bit more on all the letters, and I think I'd want to change the caps a little bit. Just put a little bit of a curve on them. See if we can get in a little bit closer. Oops. And that just gives it a little bit of an edge. From here, you might decide to change some pieces. So like maybe these are scooted back or scooted forward. Give it more depth. I think the star, maybe the star is the most forward. You know, and this star maybe doesn't have maybe this star doesn't need as much of an offset. Same thing with maybe your pet. I'm going to select all of these, hitting Shift, and this just gives us a little bit more control individually. Yeah, so these big letters maybe are more maybe stand out a little bit more. And you know, now that I think about it, maybe these actually sit back a little bit, and it's the cleanup after that gets pushed forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to add some materials to this. I wanted maybe some bright colors, or maybe, yeah, like red. Again, I'll maybe add try to add the reflectance here. May or may not come all the way through. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I will put all of these in a group. Alt G or Option G. And that way I can just put this color on top. Maybe the star will be yellow. And that last color, your pet, maybe that's like either, I'm trying to think, either an orange or pink, but I think orange is something I like. Okay. And again, maybe actually before I do that, maybe I will make a group of this. Option G, so I'll say your pet. Say clean up. And I'll just drop this onto that group. Okay. So yeah, let's see how this works. I think we're all set up here. We'll just go and export this in FBX and then bring this into Adobe Aero and see if we can make this all work. Okay, so here I am in Adobe Aero. I'm going to create a new file and bring in the assets, those 3D assets I created. Let's call this cleanup. And I think this horizontal surface is fine. I'm going to bring in my assets by hitting this plus button up at the top left. So I have these two assets. Let's see if I can bring them in. I guess I have to bring them in separately. Clean up. We'll get the type first, and then we'll get that poop emoji guy. Okay, so here are the assets. Let's see. Looks like I'm a little bit misaligned. That's weird. There's kind of a duplicate thing happening here. This is something I might need to clean up in my file. I've been noticing, yeah, sometimes this happens with the... oh, and it looks like I got it backwards. Or okay, so it looks like with the type, there's something going on here, which I might need to go ahead and go back and fix. I've been noticing sometimes with the vector import, getting this kind of like ghost image. Let's see if I can fix that. Okay, so I think this is actually kind of an important thing to go over because I've seen this happen a few times. You can see the ghost image that, or ghost artifact that appeared. The workaround that I've kind of figured out is if I make this editable, this vector import editable, or actually, I wonder if, now this has got me thinking, I wonder if this is a piece up here that I could delete. Yeah, it looks like actually I've made it editable in the past and deleted it like that, but I think you can do it right in here. There's some extra nulls that came in. They're like ghost images. So I just went ahead and deleted those. You want to be careful, you're not messing around with that, but that seems to be the fix, and I'm going to re-export this. It's just so we have the right object, the asset in Adobe Aero. Before I move forward, I do want to actually mention one thing. I actually, even though in the previous cleanup that I did, I just deleted it from the vector import, I was still getting a ghost image. And so the workaround, and this is what I did in the past, but I thought I could skip a step, but as actually converted this to geometry, I just pressed the button C, and you can see the icon changed. Or I made this editable, and that kind of cleans it up, and that should fix it when I go back into Adobe Aero. I've just rotated my little figure around at 180 degrees so it's facing the right direction. And let me bring in this one, cleanup fixed. Again, it's kind of a glitch, and maybe the latest Cinema 4D fixes it, but that's a workaround that I've noticed, and maybe you'll have that issue if you get going. So, all right, so here we go. Let's try to, I think, just compose this here in the scene. Maybe we'll go up a little bit. Oops. Yeah, the controls are a little bit different in Adobe Aero, so I always get a little bit confused. All right, let's see. Maybe these both are kind of in the air a little bit. You know, we see there's a horizontal anchor, but these things could be up in the air. Let's see, do we want them? Yeah, again, do we want them to be in the same depth, or do we want them to kind of, you know, move over? I think that's pretty good. And from here, I think what I want to do is just add some animation, add some triggers onto it. So let's go into behaviors, maybe. So maybe we can, maybe we'll just do it on the tap. That's the trigger. And from there, we'll do maybe a bounce. Is this, let's add some ease in and out. Can you just see what this looks like? That is a little bit too high, I think. Maybe it's just 3 centimeters. Yeah, maybe it does a kind of 3 jumps. And kind of want maybe like a little bit of a spin as well. Let's go up and look at the settings. But maybe the duration needs to be a little bit longer. Let's see what that spin looks like. And that's going to be spinning and also, I think, moving up and down. So maybe that's enough. And let's go back into edit mode. I'd like this text to be a little bigger, I think. 0.04 maybe. And yeah, let's take this. Let's add something, some motion or some triggers to this. All right. So let's add, maybe from the start, it's just kind of rotating or moving. This is just kind of move it like this would just be moving up and down. If we wanted to roll it a little bit or yaw, I think we could say 30. And maybe we'll do -30 here. So let's just take a look at that. It just move in. Oh, I think we need to go and look at this again. So 30, let's see. That happens once. Maybe this will go back. Maybe I could put this here. I'm gonna say -30 here. I'm gonna delete this one. See if that works. I think those two rotations are just offsetting each other. Let me delete these. So bounce, rotate, 30. Whoops. Rotate. -30. Let's see if that works. Oh, so it just rotated it back. If I wanted to rotate it kind of to face the other direction, I'll do -60. Let's see. I wonder what would happen if I did a... Let me play around with this. Let's do it back and forth. So this moves 30 degrees, then moves back. Then this, I'll set this back to -30. This moves -30 and then moves back. I think that might fix it. So it moves back. It still hasn't. Let's try doing the infinite. See what happens here. There we go. I think just putting the infinite on there makes it work. Now it feels like it's happening a little bit too fast, so maybe I'll just go back in and apologies for taking so long to get this right. 2 seconds. I could also reduce the angle that it's moving. That might also be better, but let me just see. Yeah, I think actually just reducing the angle, so -15 and then 15. I think that should finally clear things up, and then I have this animated dude. Okay, so this is always animating. This guy will spin once he's clicked on, and I think that's enough for this. Let's save this file and then bring it into Adobe Aero on the mobile app and see it in action. So I'm opening up the Adobe Aero app on my phone. First thing I need to kind of find the horizontal surfaces. And from there, I can set an anchor and bring my elements into the 3D space. So I'm going to pick a spot on the grass. And yeah, again, I'm in edit mode right now, but I could go to preview mode and actually see some of the interactions that I set up, and I can record what I'm seeing. So make a video of this by hitting that red button at the bottom. And so this is the video footage that I've recorded directly from the app, and I can interact with it kind of, and you can see the bounce and the rotate that's set up. And when I click on the little poop 3D, it will rotate around and, do the animation that I programmed. Here's another video that I recorded using Adobe Aero. I hope this tutorial gives you an insight into the workflow and the process of kind of working on a finished piece from kind of idea to final execution.